Add to stream. Here we go. All right, so we're live everywhere right now. Again, tonight's topic is 5 ways to get started in a real estate development. I'll be taking questions as well if you guys have questions. Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, TT. Hey, AK, EK, MJ. Hey, my girl, Britt. Make sure you tag someone, share this with someone that you have been talking to about getting into real estate and building real estate. This one would be some ways that probably you haven't heard of before. So make sure you get them inside of the live stream. All right. Um, awesome. So tonight we're going to be talking about 5 ways to wholesale real estate. Again, hey Malcolm, how you doing? So 5 ways to wholesale to get into real estate development. This is a huge topic because, as you know, right now, although the market, and I feel like I should do I actually would do that this week. I'll do where we are in the market right now so people can understand the trend that we have going on right now. But as you can see, everybody is building. You know, people are talking about a recession, people are talking about this, but everybody is building, and it's different from where we were in 2006, 2007, 2008, when we were building, because the way that they were obtaining credit or loans, the financial system was super different. You basically can just say you make anything and get a loan. Different now. You actually have to supply your tax returns. You have to have, credit, a certain amount of credit. So difference as far as lending, interest rates are up, but it's just correcting itself is what the market is doing. But there is still a huge opportunity to get involved in real estate development. And I suggest you get going now if you haven't. That's my goal as well. So we're all in the same boat. But because I have been around real estate development for the last 3 years of my life, sold over 300 homes with a team, done really well, but also a real estate investor, I feel like it is my duty to come to you guys and just share what I've learned from my experience of working with builders and having a big operation, working with a big operation. So getting into the first way to get into real estate development. This is my no money, no credit way. Okay. Again, this is my no money, no credit way. I will always tell you if you need something to get in, but this is my no money, no credit way. And when we talk about no money, no credit, we always are talking about wholesaling. But instead of wholesaling houses, you can wholesale land. Because what do any developer or what does any builder need before they can build anything, right? Is land. So they're always looking to identify land. I know I've said this a lot before in my lives, but land. You want to identify land, and you can wholesale it to a developer. That is a great way to build a relationship with a developer. That is a great way to build a relationship with a builder that is also a developer. So you want to wholesale land. Now, I feel like that's a whole other topic, but I'll give you the real quick down and dirty of what the concept of wholesaling land. So basically, you would either somehow get in contact with landowners that already have land, preferably more than an acre, but you can do some in lots, like some scattered lots. But raw land is great because a lot of builders and developers, they look to develop out the land, which means they look to go through the entitlements. They look to go through adding in sewer and utilities, because that is what developing the land out looks like. So raw land, farmland, agricultural land, those are land deals that would be ideal for a builder or a developer. Okay. And especially a big builder or developer. But scatter lots work too, because builders will buy individual scattered lots that they can easily get through entitlements. And when I say entitlements, what I mean is either zoning or rezoning. So it can get classified to whatever you're looking to build. It can get classified in that particular zoning class and then go through all of the permitting. So there's a long there just to let you guys know, like when I say entitlements, that's what I mean. Zoning, rezoning. Also, I'm talking about permitting. When we are going through that process, depending on how large and where the project is, it can last up to 7, 8, 9 months. Sometimes, and it's depending on where you are, it can even be in a year. And then you still have to put roads and curbs in. You have to lay fiber. I suggest you all lay in fiber. So you want to make sure that you understand what entitlements are. And maybe I'll go into, like, when we get to more of a technical course, I can go through specifically what that looks like. But wholesaling land, going back to that, is identifying a good deal for a developer. So basically, you finding a seller. It could be either a distressed seller or a seller just needs to buy to sell. Typically, your sellers are going to be heired property. So they're going to be multiple people on this property because it was family owned property. So just make sure that you understand that probate process. But you want to wholesale land to a whole developer or builder. And I've talked to you guys before about what connecting with with developers and builders look like. That looks like talking to other people that know them, or either joining your local home builders association. All right. So next would be, so that's one way to get involved, because once you build that relationship, then the ask would be, could you teach me? Could you, and show, like, allow them to show you what they do. Get more experience, because they're going to be asking you for more things. You could even ask them to be involved in the transaction process. So you get to learn what that transaction looks like on their end. And that helps you learn a lot about what they need in order to get started in developing a land. All right. Way number 2 to get started in a real estate development. Number 2 way to get started in real estate development is actually buying the land and then either leasing it or doing a creative partnership with the developer or builder. Let me explain. So when you buy land and you want to be involved in the development process, this is the great way to build a relationship with a developer, because what happens is what your ask would be, your offer would be, is you don't have to buy the land outright from me at full cost. I will allow you to work out a creative finance deal with me in order for me to be a partner with you in this development project. So what could that look like? One, if you want to lease the land, that means that you could lease the land to them over a specific amount of time. So maybe it is a few years, 2 to 3 years, however they plan, however big the project is. If it's multiple acres, maybe it'll be a 2 or 3 year project. You can lease it to them for over that period of time, and then you can receive monthly income as they're building it out. And then when they finally close on their last phase, then they will pay you equity in the project, or either interest in the project, for basically acquiring the entire land, plus the principal, obviously. So that's way that you can lease land. The other way is to become a partner with them. That you basically say that I will allow you to build houses and develop my land, but then create some creative finance terms. Maybe you have them put in a deposit of a percentage of what the total amount of the land is worth up front, and then they pay you maybe interest only payments over a specific amount of time, or you don't get anything and you get a lump sum at the end of the project. That way, you're basically an equity partner with this particular developer. That is a way that you can do a deal creatively with them and get involved in it. And obviously, because you're doing this creatively, this gives you an opportunity to learn more from the developer, learn more from the builder as they are building out and developing out this land. And it obviously creates a relationship with the builder and or developer. So that is way number 2. So you can buy land, hold it, lease it to a developer or builder, or create a partnership that includes creative financing with a builder / developer. All right. Any questions? Let me go look and see if there's some questions. Hey guys, I see y'all coming in. I love the fire. I'm glad I'm dropping fire. Let me know if this is helping someone. Put some hammers in the comments, because I definitely want to make sure that I'm giving value on these lives. All right. So number 3. So number 3 is something that is not used often, but I think it should be used more. There are more people that have more information at their fingertips, and they're willing to invest in you. All right. So becoming a credit partner. So if for some reason you don't have the credit, or you can't raise the capital because you need more credit, or you don't have the business credit, because typically you need a paydex score of like 80. And obviously you need at least a 680 credit score to get construction loans or any type of loans to fund a project. You can acquire a credit partner or become a credit partner with the builder or developer. It can happen both ways. Let's just say that the builder is tapped out on how much they will be able to get in funding because of credit or because of DTI. You could then come on and become a credit partner with them for equity in the entire project. So what that would look like, let's just say that Bob the builder or Bob the developer has identified 160 acres worth of land. He plans to put maybe he plans to put 300 homes on this 160 acres. The entire project is going to be about 45 million. You're stand to net about 10 million after everybody is paid. But he needs a credit partner because his lines of credit are tapped out. His construction loans are tapped out as far as what the banks will loan him. However, you have the ability to raise the money. You don't have the debt on your credit. You have good credit. And also, this would require you to have a little bit of net worth, right? You'll need to probably have at least 7 figures in net worth, or to be identified as an accredited investor. So I'm kind of talking to more people. It really depends on the deal, but for this particular deal, you would probably need to be a high net worth individual. But it doesn't have to always be, because the smaller deals, you can be just as involved. But so as for a credit partner, what would happen is you would then come on as a credit partner. They would utilize your information. They would utilize all of his information as far as experience, or her information as far as experience. And now you two are on the deal. Now, yes, as a credit partner, you will assume all risk if for some reason the deal goes south. But if you're working with an experienced and experienced builder or developer, then that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, but yes, you would assume all risk associated with the deal. So if they had to foreclose, they would foreclose on you as the credit partner, because you will be named the primary. However, you will be able to gain a partner that has experience in developing land, and that will basically show you everything you need, because they're going to want to continue to do deals with you if the deal goes great, right? I promise you, builders and developers are just like any other business owner. They're always looking for ways to scale their business. They're always looking for ways to find more funding that is available to them at cheaper rates. And if using a credit partner is a way to find that, then they will definitely utilize that option. So becoming a credit partner. Now, on the flip side of that is that you could also acquire a credit partner if you wanted to get into your first deal as a builder. Now, I would say, like, if it's your very first, you probably want to do maybe identify some scatter lots, maybe 3 to 5 scatter lots, and put one floor plan on there, and you go get a loan. And if you can't qualify for the loan, then I would go and find someone that has the credit and has some reserves that can be your credit partner. And that's a way that you can fund a deal. Okay. I have some questions from Carolina's Own. It says, is it better to be the GC or hire a GC for your first build? It depends. What is your GC experience? So if you are already a GC, and it's your first build, I would say you gather your own team and you put your own team together. However, if if you're not a GC, you've never done it, this is I'm really big on when you first get started, it's really about getting your first deal done. So it's about leveraging what you can. So if you need to leverage someone else's GC license and have them be the GC over your project, then great. And then as you continue to build, then you want to look at getting your own GC, because it's going to require you to get amount of insurance and get licensed. So you want to make sure that you have all of that together before you start when you start to scale. Now, as you get going, I wouldn't suggest getting into all of that if you have never been a GC or builder before. I would suggest you utilizing people that have done it before. And then as you scale, you can look at branching out and creating your own building company or your own GC company that is essentially ran by your subcontractors and ran by a project manager. And so you don't have to do it yourself. I hope that was helpful. Okay, great. I'm glad this live is right on time. Do I have any other questions for? All right. So credit partners, that is the beauty of credit partners, is finding someone that is looking to and just want to be an investment, that trusts you, or you can be that person that a builder or developer needs, because there are a lot of builders and developers that are tapped out. I promise you, they're tapped out on credit. They're tapped because you got to remember, materials have been slow, inventory, like everything logistically for building has been slow. So builders are out here always trying to figure out ways to free up some cash. And if they can find someone to come in and help them do another deal to help them free up some cash, they are willing to do that. Which leads me right into the next one of how to get started is a private money lender, raising funding. Now, I know this can be somewhat of hard for people to ask people for money, but it shouldn't be, because if you have a great deal, the right people are going to want to invest in you. They're just going to want to know all the information. They're going to want to know what their returns would be, what is going to be required of them, and how long it's going to take them to get their money back. That's really the biggest pieces of that. So finding private money lenders, these are people that have money that is maybe either in an investment right now that is not really performing the way they want it to perform, or they have came into some extra cash and they don't want to pay taxes on it, and they can loan it over, and then they can have someone that is generating returns on their money. And you can pull a couple of different private money lenders together and create a fund to go out and fund your deals. Now, the only thing about private money lenders I would suggest is you finding the deal first, identifying the deal first, because they're going to want to know that information. They're going to want to know, again, those 3 things that I just told you, because otherwise they're not going to know how their money is going to be utilized. Remember, money is a tool. If you don't have anything, a problem, or any solution, like you don't have anything to fix, then money is useless to you. So you want to make sure that you have identified a deal where they can actually use that money as a tool. All right. So I'm glad this is helpful for you. Carolina's Own. I like that name. I love great info. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Paulette White. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So any questions on, so we've got wholesaling land. That's to get started. If you've never done anything and you want to just build some capital and get your credit right, pay down some credit, I would suggest you wholesale land. I do buy land. I team up with Ask Flip Man. We're buying land across the US right now. So let us know. We can also help you figure out how to do some numbers on some land. Then I talked about buying land and leasing it back out to either the builder or the developer, or either partnering with a creative finance situation with the builder or developer. And I'll tell you, the latter part is done a lot more than you thought you guys can imagine. Builders and developers are always looking, again, for ways to save money on the back end. So creative financing, if you understand that piece, could be very lucrative for you, because then you can go out and buy multiple parcels of land and have multiple creative finance deals going on and with income coming in, and also be a part of the front end. Once it gets closed, you can also be a part, get money on the front end of the deal as well. All right. And so the last one is obvious, is get a coach. I mean, that's the 5 ways to get started in real estate development. Like, if you don't know how to get this, I would say partner up with someone that does or has experience. Obviously I teach people, but I mean, even if it's just someone that is next to you in your particular market, in your particular city, that you know is doing it, I would say get going and ask them how you can get involved, so that you can learn from them. And I gave you a couple of ways of how you can get involved. I would pitch someone that is in your area. I would pitch them, hey, are you always looking for land deals? Tell me what you're looking for. I'll go out and find it for you. Or, hey, I'm going to buy some land. What are you looking for? And then we can figure out a way that we can partner up with this, where you don't have to buy the land from me up front, but we can look at you paying me over amount of time plus when the project is done. Then again, talk about the credit partner and the private money lenders. But this is the way that you can get a coach, because the people that are doing it, one thing that they do well is they know how to build houses and develop land very well. So you want to get into that circle of people or person that is doing it well, so that you can be a mentee. All right. So those are the 5 ways that you can get started with real estate development. Here's what I want to do. This is not wine or anything. This is coconut water. So just so y'all know. Here's my goal is I want to put us in a position, just give the information out, so we can be put in a position where not only we've already been told don't sell grandmother's house, right? But also don't sell the family land. And then buy other land. Like land, we drive past just vacant land all the time. We drive past land that's not even being cropped anymore all the time. Like, that could be a liquid gold mine, especially if you see new development going up around it. Don't be afraid of buying 200 acres. Don't be afraid of buying 300 acres. Like, that is gold. Buy more land. And my goal is, instead of, us talking about the 40 acres and a mule, like, why don't we just buy up our 40 acres plus, right? And either build on it and keep it, or either lease it out. That's how we get generational wealth. It's just buying up the land and not being afraid of development. It is slower money, but you can always figure out ways to start getting money on the front end, as well as getting money when you get on the back end as well. So that's what I want. I want us to start building resorts, building multifamily apartments, building communities and houses. But I imagine us going international and building up on land that is in the DR and in Jamaica. Like, we need more resorts. We need more single multifamily housing across the world, really. So, and then even in Africa. So once we learn here, we can take these same concepts And as long as we understand the government laws and the taxing over in other countries, you can do the same thing anywhere. Um, but that is all I have for tonight. Let me see if I have some questions. Hey, Ellie girl. Let's see. Questions. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I am going to be coming back and sharing some more because I want us to get involved. Tomorrow, what I'll talk about the market cycle. I'll talk about where we are exactly in the market and why we should, so we can understand how to prepare our portfolios and prepare our how we buy property as the market continues to go through the cycle that it always goes through. Like no matter what year you give me, the cycle always stays the same. Now the time frame may change, but the ebbs and flow of it is always the same. Always the same. That's one of the reasons why I like real estate, because I can always predict how to start investing and making more money and making money differently in real estate, because it never changes as far as the cycle of it. All right, guys, that is all I have for tonight. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Take care. Bye.